This is Dr. Ian Stevenson. This is another name you can put in the Google search, you will get it. Ian Stevenson. He is a professor from the University of West Virginia. He has given more than 3,000 case studies of spontaneous reincarnation memories. So, what is reincarnation? Punarjanma. Punarjanma means, in TV also you must have seen, in newspaper you must have read, people recollecting their Purva Janma, previous life. That means you take set A, you take set B, there's an intersecting element between the two. Right now he has the body B, and he is remembering about body A. There has to be an intersecting element. And what is the intersecting element? That is the soul, Atma. Atma was there in the A body, now Atma is in B body, and in B body he is telling everything about A body. I have given an example also. See, so many books on reincarnation available in the market. Hundreds of books now. And more than 3,000 case studies of people recollecting their previous lives. We have given an example also later. So Dr. Ian Stevenson says, even the phobias are related to the mode of death that a person had in the previous life. For example, this lady in the previous life, she died by drowning in a swimming pool. So in the next life, she develops a fear for water. Wherever she sees water body, she is scared. She doesn't want to go near water. Similarly, somebody was killed with a knife. So these people will have a phobia for knife. Similarly, somebody was shot by a gun. The next life, as soon as they see the gun, they will really be shivering. So Dr. Ian Stevenson found it was true. People who died with a gun before, now in the next life they have shown phobia. Here you see these twins. So how are the twins born? You all know very well. Genetically they are same, as you know very well, because only one egg splits into two. So then, although they look alike, is their behavior alike? Is their attitudes alike? Is their natures alike? No. Many of you may be knowing twins who look exactly same due to the genes, but they have completely different behavior. Therefore, Ian Stevenson says two different souls have reincarnated in two different bodies. Therefore, even the twins don't behave alike. So that is another proof he gives, although genetically they may be same. So now I am going to show you a video. You can watch it very carefully, of reincarnation by one boy called James. This is actually taken from the Discovery Channel. Discovery Channel, as you know, they bring up many scientific things. So you can see this scientific presentation on reincarnation. Sound is coming?
They have the same name and boyish good looks. James M. Houston, raised in the Midwest. James M. Leininger, a young boy from the Bayou.
Whoa! There's something in the eyes. It's undeniable.
That's not all they share.
Somehow James Houston's spirit has affected my son, either through reincarnation. I don't know how it happened.
I can make the Japanese easy as pie.
And every night he slept with his G.I. Joe action figures, which he named.
That's not a bomb, that's a drop tank.
Bouncing about in the cockpit, James was flying high. That night, their world would change forever.
He started having the nightmares, and that was my first indication that there was something wrong. It was a panic-stricken, terrorized screaming.
Over and over again, James had the same terrible nightmare, 4 to 5 times a week. He was too young to explain the dream, but he could draw.
Bombing ships, you see men parachuting. Here's another one where planes are dropping bombs.
Help me.
He would just be crying. He'd say, airplane crash on fire, little man can't get out. He laid on his back and kicked up at the ceiling, and he goes, Mama, the little man's going like this. And he laid on his back and kicked his feet up. The little man's going, ooh, 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 can't get out. And I said, well, who's the little man, baby? And he goes, me. I thought Bruce and I were just going to faint.
They questioned, what kind of plane?
Corsair.
Why did your airplane crash?
My plane was shot down.
Who shot your plane?
He looked at me like I was a village idiot. He said,
the Japanese. I kept thinking, where is he getting this? I was a stay-at-home mom, so I know that there wasn't anything that he was being exposed to.
Not exposed to in this life, but perhaps, just maybe, somebody else was. Decades earlier, James Houston grew up with the same insatiable fascination with airplanes. He became a naval fighter pilot and fought in World War II, declared missing and presumed dead.
Where did he take off from a boat?
Do you remember the name of your boat? He said, Natoma.
Found several thousand hits on the word Natoma.
The USS Natoma Bay launched into battle headed for Iwo Jima in the fight for Leyte Gulf.
It's the biggest naval battle in the history of the world.
Leo Pyatt served on the ship. From his home in Ohio, he organizes the Natoma Bay reunions. That's how Bruce found him.
I wanted to disprove it.
He asked a few questions about, did I know some of the people? Oh, yeah, I remember those people. And so he got very quiet.
It was all real. The people and places James described actually existed. And remember those G.I. Joe dolls that James named? Turns out 3 men with the same names, first and last, served on the Natoma and were killed in action. James said they greeted him in heaven after his crash.
I'd always asked him, do you remember what your name was? And he always said James. But his name is James.
Yes, there was a Jim Houston, a rather large shell, just hit him in the engine, and it burst into flames and went down.
They showed Leo the drawings.
He was right on the nose. I'm sure, in my mind, that he was there.
Serious?
And he'd never met Bob Green?
No, he'd never met him before. She wasn't my oldest sister. I had an older sister than that. And I said, you did? Who was that? And he goes, Ruth. Ruth.
Eddie, it's amazing to describe how he would feel that way, but he does. He considers me his sister.
But does she consider James her brother?
I think it's probably a reincarnation of my brother.
Suzanne Stratford, Fox 8 News.
So you all saw it now, isn't it? About James. So I took this from Discovery Channel because many of you might have seen many other movies in Discovery Channel, but this is a movie on reincarnation, you see. Here is another example, a case study of Dr. Ian Stevenson, one of the 3,000 cases. Here is a little girl called Shukla. She also, when she was a small little girl, she remembered in her previous life, her name was Mana, who lived in a district called Batpara district in Ratlam. So she recollected, she said, I had a small kid called Mino, she said. And she used to put small dolls, in a cradle and then move them, saying, Mino, Mino, she used to say that. So then father was wondering, then he said, okay, let's take her to the place where she claimed she was existing before. So when they went to the village, immediately Shukla could recognize the place very easily, and she led the whole party of people who came with her, and she showed the direction straight to the house, and she exactly showed that is my husband Haridana Chakravarti, that's my father-in-law Amritlal Chakravarti. She told and her husband's 2 brothers Ketu and Karuna, she showed 30 different truths. She spoke exactly. She said, go to the upstairs, you will find a steel trunk. I have kept on blue sari and yellow sari, she said. They went to the top, they opened the trunk, they exactly found those saris. So, in this way, you'll be amazed how she recollected so many things, which all of them turned out to be true. So, now, here you will find famous scientists speaking on reincarnation. See what Benjamin Franklin says. Finding myself to exist in this world, I believe that I shall in some shape or other always exist. That means even many scientists have appreciated this fact about transmigration. See, Socrates says, I am confident that there is truly such a thing as living again and living spring from the dead, he says.